Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch. Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit to do and welcome into more important issues. It is Sunday, December 12th. That intro feels real good today with a quarterback making his big announcement in a very nonchalant way, kind of like how he's gone about the season. I feel like he's been very efficient. He delivered the news in a timely manner. No potential mistakes. It was made clear. I just feel like it defined how he's played quarterback. Very, kind of came in off an injury, not a whole lot expected. Almost won a ball game. The Tennessee trial, I don't know, just felt right for who Hendon Hooker's been on campus.
Yeah, he's not big on the whole drama. I think even during the season he wasn't on social media at all. So, just going about his business and, hey, man.
So is it bigger than Peyton Manning's?
No, I wouldn't say that. Now, if he goes and wins the Heisman, I guess we can make that debate then. How about that?
I think Tennessee's got to be in championship talks or Heisman talks for that matter to have that debate. So yeah, we definitely gotta let it play out a little bit. It has kind of been a big week though, especially kind of this announcement. I don't know if it starts off a new week or if it capped the previous one that Tennessee got some commits, got some stuff done on the recruiting trail building towards that 2022 team. I think there's still more work to do because this week you kind of had a lot of those. You actually did get a guy from Florida in the transfer portal, but you've had some shakeups with LSU, with Florida that some guys that you kind of maybe weren't in with before, and now you're kind of back in with. And so I don't know if it caps off this week or leads to a better week, but it's good to have. As it stands today, you have your starting quarterback in 2022 already there. And I mean, we can debate that whole, is it bigger than Peyton Manning? The fact of the matter is the quarterback's the most important position in the ballgame. So you can't understate how huge this is as you build towards next year's team. I know we haven't been shy about it. It's not like this recruiting class is super impressive. The ranks are getting better. We thought it kind of would as you move closer. But getting your quarterback in place now that you don't have that question mark, I think that eases it. It almost puts you at ease for 2022 right now.
Yeah, I think it, with football, and especially we've seen it firsthand, you're only as good as your quarterback is. And the way Hendon Hooker played this season, that's a really good sign for next year. And I think having a stable quarterback, you can kind of show, hey, this is what we're This is what we're doing. This is the offense we run. This is the quarterback development we have, and you're able to get a good quarterbacks behind him. Whether that's in 2023 with Taven Jackson, whoever, maybe somebody in the transfer portal. But I think that gives you some mobility and something that you're building, and you're able to show firsthand, hey, this is what we're doing with a quarterback of this talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's big in terms of, I know you have a lot to replace on that 2022 team. You're going to be thin in the running back room. You potentially could lose your leading receiver. You also lost Velus Jones Jr. already. So it's certainly not a fix-all, but it's a great building block. And I'd rather have the quarterback situation ironed out than you replace all those guys. Now you're going, all right, who gets the ball to him? Is it a true freshman? Does another guy on the roster figure it out? So it's nice to have at least like the kind of your biggest checkbox you've got to fill.
Yeah, because even last year we went into this season going, hey, we have some options at quarterback, but still there was a question of who was it going to be. Coming in this year, you don't have to worry about that. You know exactly who QB1 is from day one, and that's Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, and there could be some help of talent there. A guy that this staff has worked out to be their guy back there as well. Not saying that he's going to necessarily push for starter, but talking about a guy that maybe helps in injury times, maybe comes into his own if there's needed there. It's a guy that you got to trust that the staff at least thinks will fit the offense, if nothing else. If he's not super talented.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
you got a serviceable quarterback. I don't know if you want to depend on him for wins.
Right.
But
Not
yeah,
yet.
it's definitely serviceable. Something to work with for sure.
Right. We are going to talk about some of those commitments too, and talk about the Tennessee did get the win on Saturday. I know you guys talked about how ugly that loss was Tuesday night, so it's good to get out of that, and you can really leave that one behind you now that that next game's out of the way. Talk about some other college football stuff. If you got some questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I've got Twitter here pulled up, and then also YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. So ask away if you've got any questions. I know we kind of did just discuss the Hendon Hooker. Is that just your? I mean, we wanted Hendon back because he's been so efficient and so valuable to this offense. I mean, right now, realistically, like where does it put Tennessee on track for next year? Are you still kind of fighting that 7-5, 6-6 range? Could this get Tennessee to that 8th win, 9th win?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there. I think they're capable. I mean, they got to go out and do it and continue to beat the teams they should beat. But when you have a quarterback that's thrown for 26 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and you return all that, 4 out of 5 starters on the offensive line, you return the most productive wide receiver, most productive running back. You got to like what you have in this offense next year. And I'm sure the guys coming back was a huge persuasion for Hendon Hooker to come back. If they lost everybody, I mean, and just like at quarterback, if you have a question mark at quarterback, does Cedric Tillman come back? Does Cade Mays even think about coming back?
That was my next question. I don't know about K. That one I think that's probably has more to do with like personal like injuries, things like that. But I mean, I think Cedric Tillman, unless the door's just been completely shut, I've got to think this does a lot to maybe keep him around. The fact that you're going to have a guy that not only do can perform, you're comfortable with. This isn't like a transfer coming in that even if he's good, you got to work it out. This guy's been here for a year. You can catch his ball. You can go for 1,000 yards. You've done it. I got to think unless the door is completely shut on the Cedric Tillman thing, and I just don't know. I feel like if it was, you would know by now. But unless it's just completely shut, I got to think this works you more into getting him back for 2022 as well.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the Josh Malone thing where when, we all kind of said, like, he should come back. He might not do a whole lot in the NFL. There's speed, is not NFL ready. So maybe he should come back. But then when Josh Dobbs leaves, I mean, he doesn't have the answer at quarterback that he wants, and he goes to the NFL and, makes a roster for a little bit, plays for a few teams. So I look at it kind of like that exact same situation where, if Hendon Hooker goes, I think Cedric Tillman's mind has to lean toward leaving too.
Yeah, it's a different story when you have like you mentioned, the Malone. You didn't have Josh Dobbs coming back, and there was a lot of questions.
It seemed like a good.
We didn't know how big of questions at that time, but we knew there were questions regardless.
Right. Yeah. I mean, looking back, I guess he made the right decision because that 2017 would have been a rough time to see him get some production.
Yeah, I agree. I think that ended up being the right decision. But no, this one, I think it definitely opens up Cedric Tillman's possibilities, which would be big for that offense that's losing not everything, but a lot. They are losing a lot. Definitely helps with Hendon Hooker being back. I know it's really exciting. A lot of Tennessee fans want to he's probably been – I don't know if there was a chance Josh Dobbs was leaving in 15. But, I mean, I'd say he's the biggest fourth-year quarterback since Manning. Unless there was talks of Dobbs leaving, but I don't know if there was.
Oh, go. What did you say? What was the question?
He's the best one to choose to return, unless Dobbs was thinking about leaving. Then I would say Dobbs is probably the biggest.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Since Manning. So I know a lot of people are excited and want to equate it to Manning, so I think we can equate it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Wait, did Tyler Bray?
No, he left. His senior year would have been Butch Young's first
Okay,
year.
yeah. That's what you're saying. Okay, that decided to return. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Again, unless I just feel like Dobbs was, you kind of thought he was going to be there. Especially, the 16 team. Talk about that. What a time that would be to leave.
Right. Yeah.
That would have been an interesting one. But yeah, definitely a big deal and does a lot for Tennessee. And May, we talked about commits starting to trend towards Tennessee this week with some help from programs seeing some uncertainty there. Does this even boost Tennessee a little bit more? Because it kind of goes into selling that vision. Like, you don't have to just sell a vision with Hendon Hooker. Like, he's done it. You can point to what he's done. It's not just what we think he can do.
Yeah, and you're also pointing to where, like, if you're recruiting, you're pointing to what he did at Virginia Tech to what he did this year. His stats were head and shoulders better than they were at Virginia Tech.
Right.
But I did like what you said about Joe Milton. I'm sure that's the guy you were mentioning earlier. I don't know if we actually said his name, but
I didn't say it.
But he is a guy, like, you do have a running quarterback who rushed for over 500 yards. So, that injury, it's going to happen sometimes. He's going to get up a little slow, especially in the SEC where, these are NFL top guys tackling your quarterback. And, your offensive line didn't do a great job protecting him all year long. But yeah, you do have a guy that's serviceable. So I do like what they have at quarterback. Does Joe Milton leave? I guess that could still happen, but he has to move down.
Yeah,
if he does.
Right.
So if I don't know what I would do in that situation. He seems to be just. He's another guy that's kind of not been on Twitter. It's kind of weird just not having a guy on Twitter just going nuts all the time.
If you're Joe Milton too, and if you're wondering if, like, I could play, well, yeah, you started last year. Like, I can't imagine the door's completely closed. And not that I think it'll be an open quarterback competition come fall, but you're talking about you're an injury away. Are you the next guy up? Well, right now you are. Could you be that in 2022? Very easily. So I don't think the door is completely shut on his time here in Knoxville as far as being the starter or playing quarterback. So that may encourage, I don't know. Like you said, you have to move down. So I think the likeliness of you staying is probably higher. But yeah, it certainly, I don't know what that thought process is there. I don't know what I would do, but you've been the starter before. So to act like there's no chance of you playing, I think is incredibly dumb. And it's not like there's right now, you mentioned there's not a ton behind. Until fall of 2022, unless, or maybe Tavian Jackson's enrolling early. And so until he gets on campus, you're the only guy.
Yeah, for sure. And does Tennessee take a transfer? They just go into it with kind of the three quarterbacks, Tavian Jackson, Joe Milton, and Hooker.
As it stands right now, it doesn't seem you really need to take one. Maybe to add some depth, but the problem is if you're adding depth to a transfer, like, are they coming here? Like, how much playing time have they gotten? Are they going to want to come here just to provide depth? So you get into that kind of territory of it. It'd be really hard to recruit a really good quarterback right now, someone that's even worth putting on the roster. But you do have spots, I guess, so if you don't use them all.
Yeah, and maybe it's a guy who, has a couple years of eligibility. So, this year they don't have to play right away. But, yeah, if it's a guy who's, a star quarterback, I don't think you have much of a chance with Hendon Hooker coming back. And why would you? Why would you even throw, somebody in that? You're set. It's weird. I get it. We haven't been through this in a while, so
it's definitely very strange. I do want to, now that the transfer portal here, we need like a career backup guy in college football. Like you have in the NFL, you have the guys that make a couple million a year, maybe play 2 or 3 games a year, and that's it. We need a guy like that in college football that just jumps around. He's been to like 3 different Division I programs and.
Yeah, we need the Blue Mountain State guy.
Exactly. So just need a career backup that we can. And then when teams are in like what degree is
a Jim Bob Cooter, okay?
We need
somebody that can get some NIL money. Yeah.
Be careful.
The holder, get some NIL money. Come here and be the backup.
Exactly. So we transfer portal should help that. But no, I'm very excited. I know it's like I want to be careful about kind of Tennessee's expectations because right now I don't think they change much, but it's exciting that Hendon Hooker's returning.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think with the coaching changes in the league, I think you got a good chance with some of these teams. LSU's a game that, I know we're going to try to go to in Baton Rouge. I feel like that's a winnable game. I feel like it would have been this year. And, they're going through a coaching change, going through roster changes and kind of stuff that we went through last year. So I think Pittsburgh, you should have won that game. They won't have Kenny Pickett next year. So, I mean, that game should be a for sure win. So I definitely think.
No fake slides in it either.
Wait, what?
No fake slides in it either.
Oh, yeah, no fake slides. Dude, that's so dumb.
I'm glad we got that rule figured out.
Yeah, that was top priority, Caleb. Yeah, I'm excited. We got some momentum, baby.
Yeah, let's keep that momentum going. Let's talk some commitments. I know that's been kind of Josh Heupel's.
Do we have some
biggest
questions? I think we did. I can't.
Do we have some relating to Hooker and next year's team?
It's about recruiting.
Okay.
So I think somebody asked about Gerald Mincy. Is he committed? Is he not committed? I think he was on an official visit this weekend to Tennessee after when he transferred from Florida, and he wanted to call this place home. I think that was a bit premature from what I understand. And will they take an offensive tackle? Probably. But I don't think the coaches really told him or even talked to him about it. He just kind of did it on his own, which
okay.
Hey man.
Bold.
Yeah, you know what you want. I'm all for it, dude. I don't need to talk to the coaches. I just need to see the plays. This is where I want to be, so this is where I'm at. Hey, cool. Come on. If you're good enough to play some at Florida, I think you're good enough to play at Tennessee, in my opinion.
I'd say as it stands today, yeah.
He's I think he has 2 years of eligibility left, or no, maybe 3 years of eligibility. He's from Cardinal Gibbons in Fort Lauderdale. That's also, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but that's also where Chris Bogle is from, who also is transferring from Florida. And, him and Tennessee kind of flirted with each other during his recruitment as a high school player. So I don't know if could have any impact on, but, I know Tennessee would take as many good edge rushers as they could. So,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. 6'5", 320. I think he, probably is going to need to cut some weight a little bit if he wants to survive in this offense. But it seems like a guy who wants to be here, so I'm cool with that. 3 years of eligibility. Come on.
Yeah, and more depth on offense. Yeah, you've got a lot of questions still at offensive line. I mean, kind of even for this season. So yeah, be nice to iron out some of those details too. Transfer portal guys that maybe have played some or at least have been in a program for a while, so it's not exactly completely fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he played in 9 games at Florida. Not a whole lot of snaps, like 50 or 60 snaps. So not a ton of playing time at Florida, but I mean, hey, you can't have enough offensive linemen. Ask Derek Dooley.
Right. Never. Let's talk. Do you have any more questions, or are we ready to kind of move on to some of these commitments that I've rolled in this week for Tennessee?
I think Patrick Eady asked about Jacob Copeland. I don't know if that's something. Apparently, he had some off the field issues. Apparently, that's why his mom wanted him to leave Florida.
Gotcha.
Like the state, not the school,
right.
But wanted him to leave and not, go to Alabama or Tennessee. So yeah, apparently he had some issues there, but Tennessee needs some help at receiver too. So I wouldn't put it past Tennessee. But if you're gonna, it seems like there's not a lot of drama with this team. So I don't think this coaching staff is willing to put up with drama.
Yeah, but I mean that may be something his mom likes in the program.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can change, I guess. But yeah, if you're all about the drama and stuff like that, it just does not seem like this staff is going to be very interested. It's going to be a tough way for you to get on the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Jared Verse, the edge rusher from Albany, he had 11 tackles for loss. We mentioned this kind of on Thursday night. 11 tackles for loss this season, 9.5 sacks. He was on his official visit to Tennessee this weekend. I think he went to like 4 different schools in like 5 days. Was supposed to go to Purdue, I think today or yesterday. Canceled that to stay, an extra night at Tennessee. So I think it's down to, if I had to guess, I think there's like 4 teams he mentioned in it, but I think Florida State and Tennessee is probably the 2 teams that I could see him going to. I mean, any defensive lineman that like does an interview just cannot stop talking about Rodney Garner.
Yeah, and I mean I feel like that's at every position, Rodney Garner's a good recruiter, but specifically the one he coaches,
Right.
Been able to get top talent. And was it Banks or John Mary that said, you'd be dumb in front of Walter Nolan, you'd be dumb not to want to play for Rodney Garner?
I think it was Tim Banks.
I think it was Banks too. It was one of the defensive coaches.
Yeah.
But I can't remember who. But yeah, he's right though. When you see the groundwork, you see what he's done with this roster. Some of the guys that performed well this year. I mean, you'd be dumb not to want to play for Rodney Garner right now on that defensive line.
But yeah, a guy that they really like, and he'll have 3 years of eligibility, so it's not just a one and done. I'm not saying they wouldn't try to take a one and done. They had Caleb Tremblay and Javonte Payton as well this season. But I think it's definitely more appealing to a staff if you have some years of eligibility left.
Absolutely.
And then high school recruiting. That's kind of all I got for the transfers. I don't know of, besides those guys, I don't know exactly who else. Looks like Zach Evans didn't make it up here, so that's probably that ship has sailed. Because now these kids, I mean, they don't have to sign. They can sign, just like show up in January at a school. Yeah. They don't have to sign on Wednesday.
Right.
But it's also the dead period, so they can't take visits. They can't, coaches can't go see them like they have the past week. So if you kind of didn't do that, I just have a hard time like
believing you're going to actually go somewhere.
Right.
If you don't visit. Yep.
That would be hard for me to go across multiple states to a school without seeing it in person. I know Jared Verse, I think, talked about doing some, online tours, but I feel like it's just not the same.
No, and two, you've got to build. I mean, that relationship, like coaches, it's gonna be hard for both parties to trust it. I mean, when you haven't even met them, so I mean, it's you haven't done the little things in terms of just visits, so that trust isn't quite there. So it'd be hard for the recruit, I think, to make that decision. And coaches, it's probably hard to fill out exactly, especially guys like. No offense to Zach Evans, but he's had some stuff following him. You want to meet and talk to the guy. You want to get him on campus, see his comfort level, because you don't want to be dealing with a guy that, like you kind of mentioned, going back into drama earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're kind of doing the same things that you were during the high school recruitment, I mean, not saying he was. I don't know that for sure, but are you willing to get back into that?
Right. Yep.
But Tennessee did dip into the 2022 recruiting class and the 2023 recruiting class this week. The first one was, since we spoke to you guys, it seems like I think it's been 5 in the last 10 days. So again, got some of that momentum going, some of that mojo heading into National Signing Day. So that's good to see. Caleb Webb made his decision on Friday. It was supposed to be Thursday, and then moved it to Friday, and chose Tennessee over Michigan and Louisville after decommitting a week or so ago after his official visit to Tennessee from East Carolina. Rated as a 4-star wide receiver from Powder Springs, Georgia. 6'2.5", 185. Won a state title in the 4x1 in track. Runs a sub-11 100-meter dash, so quick. A guy that can go up and get the ball. And his production, man, I don't know if you saw the stats that I tweeted out, but his junior season, 17 catches, 181 yards, 0 touchdowns. 2021, 83 catches, 1,601 yards, and 18 touchdowns. So just blew up. Somebody said that his quarterback was hurt or something his junior year, so that's kind of what happened. But I mean, that's why the kid was at East Carolina, and just kind of blew up during the season. Just didn't have a lot of production. I mean, I guess the speed and size was there, but if you only have 17 catches for 181 yards, it's hard for Power 5 teams to come knocking on your door.
Right. So the senior season definitely has helped, clearly.
Yeah. So, he had one more touchdown than – I mean, that reminds me of freaking Cedric Tillman having, 7 catches in his first 3 years on campus and having like 9 touchdowns this season alone. So, just a guy that can help on the outside, go up and get the football, making those contested catches, having a year under Cedric Tillman he's one of the best 50-50 ball. I feel like we say this every year. We had Callaway do it, Josh Palmer do it, and now we're having Cedric Tillman do it. But so hopefully Caleb Webb's the next in line at that position. But you don't really have a lot of outside receivers on this team. You're losing Javonte Payton. You have Cedric Tillman, Ramel Keaton. Other than that, there's not a lot, Walker Merrill, Anderson Kobe, Jalen Hyatt, Jimmy Holiday, Jimmy Callaway, those are all kind of smaller receivers. I'm not saying they can't go up and get it, but when you're talking about 50-50 balls, you want a guy that has some size on him. So Caleb Webb definitely fits that mold.
Yeah, and you mentioned his speed. I mean, that's another thing this staff's going to continue looking for, and he's got really good speed.
And coach,
I mean, it's not like, I don't know if he's any faster than Velus. You don't see a ton of just massive explosive plays. So I don't know what kind of speed it is, but Cedric Tillman, his speed's kind of sneaky.
Yeah. Speed doesn't have a bad day.
No, it doesn't. No.
But Tennessee is up to number 16th in recruiting rankings right now. Again, got some of that momentum. Hopefully we're able to get some more on early signing day. I think some guys will make their decision. Tyree West was up here for an official visit, 4-star defensive tackle, and that's currently committed to Georgia. It looks like it was between us and Florida State. And he mentioned that Tennessee was his first offer in 9th grade. Bless you.
Thank you. So first offer? Whew.
First offer in 9th grade. Yeah, I think he came up here in 9th grade on a visit to like a spring game and was offered. So, yeah, I mean, maybe that hits home for him. And then, I know Rodney Garner recruited him at Auburn, and now he's here. So I think that connection's just kind of been lingering. And so when I guess he hasn't decommitted from Georgia yet, but he kind of said it was Florida State and Tennessee. So whatever. Maybe he makes his decision. And Justin Williams between Tennessee and Auburn. I kind of like where Tennessee's at. I think they want to add another running back in this class. What Tennessee has at running back right now, I think it'd be smart to add somebody in the portal too.
Right.
I mean, I guess that's why they thought
they may do both. I mean,
yeah. So we'll see kind of where they end up. But 16th right now. Again, you're kind of behind the 8 ball with a lot of these 2022 commits didn't really have anything to sell them on. And I'm sure they're getting from other schools, they're hearing, oh, don't go to Tennessee. They can't go to a bowl game for years. So I'm sure that was hard to just like, we're going to be able to go to a bowl game. Oh, how do you know? Well, I don't know. So I'm sure that was tough, and then didn't get a lot of chances from the in-state talent here. Just kind of made their decision and didn't really back away from it. Didn't really give Tennessee a shot to kind of get back in there. I think Walter Nolan's the only really person that technically gave us a shot. But, hey, whatever. Again, I hope Josh Heupel takes it personally. And, maybe he's got those relationships built up. So if they go into the portal, maybe they come back to Tennessee someday. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely been tough with the in-state's always going to be your biggest heel too if those come back to bite you. So very unfortunate. And I mean, hey, the Walter Nolan door doesn't seem to be completely closed yet, which is insane to me. But
yeah,
whatever.
We'll see what happens. Does he sign? If he signs, I think he's going to Texas A&M. If he doesn't, then there's that another 2 months of roller coaster ride, and we'll see where he ends up after that. But
yeah,
and then the in-state class was so good this year. That's what makes it suck. You had guys like Ty Simpson, the Wade twins, Dallin Hayden, guys like that just going elsewhere. Oh well, can't dwell on it. Can't be like Jeremy Pruitt and be like, if we had this guy and this guy and this guy, we'd be so much better. It doesn't seem like Josh Heupel and his staff is really worried about who they didn't or don't get.
Right. Yep.
But they did get Ethan Davis today, 4-star tight end out of Swanee, Georgia. Collins Hill just won a state title this past weekend with Sam Horn as his quarterback. He's got Travis Hunter, who's headed to Florida State. I think he's one of the top players in the country. So got a really good team, and I think they compete in 7A in the state of Georgia. So really tough to win in. And number 112th player in the country, number 7 tight end. And I think I looked at it today. He's the highest ranked tight end that Tennessee has had since 2002.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Who would that have been? That of
Aaron Kirkland.
Okay. Would have guessed that.
I don't even remember him. So
Nope.
Couldn't tell you if he even made it on campus. I have no clue.
Anybody else?
I think this is big for them to it seems like we've got tight ends attention. I know we were in there for Eric Gilbert and Darnell Washington, but we didn't utilize a tight end enough to really say, hey, this is how we can use you.
Right.
But the way I think we use Jacob Warren and Princeton Fant this season, I think it's got to be appealing to some tight ends that maybe even have a more no offense to those two guys, but they're not, top 100 players.
Right.
So I think that's Tennessee's second commit in the 2023 class. So, hey, getting a start on those guys. We need it.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to see about this Aaron Kirkland. I don't remember him. I know we were very young.
I tried to look it up too, and I couldn't find anything on him.
That's all he did enroll at Tennessee, so he did make it to campus there.
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
Patrick Eady did ask about Mba, Scott, Alexander, Gilbert, all the JUCOs. Maybe Gilbert. I think he's got a crystal ball to Auburn, but I think it's between us and Auburn. Mba, I don't really know. I don't really know about that. I know Desmond Williams was the guy that Tennessee really liked, and we landed him. But as far as the rest of the JUCOs, I don't really have a beat on them at all. I guess we'll see come Wednesday where they end up. But I know getting a lot of those kind of last weeks until signing day, I think Tennessee likes their chances with some of those guys. But I don't know. I know Mba's mom came on his official visit from France, and I think he didn't go anywhere this weekend, went back to France, going to talk it over, and then make his decision with his family. So we'll see.
There you go. Interesting. Surprised the international travel's easy right now.
Yeah, I mean, let's get East Bonds to make a call over there. Maybe stop by and be like, yo.
It can't be bad.
I mean, we got kids on our basketball team from all over the world. It ain't nothing for us to go get a somebody
Very
from
diverse.
overseas. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. Any other kind of recruiting updates you want to drop in or Anything like that?
That's kind of all I got. Early signing periods Wednesday. It's going to be quiet until then, and we'll see kind of what happens. But
They're talking about rolling back.
What?
That was a discussion at the rules committee, was changing early signing day again, like getting rid of it.
Yeah, it's I don't
understand.
You couldn't help us out last year,
right? So we'll see. I don't know. I don't get it. I didn't get it to start with exactly. So
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
Josh Heupel said, I don't know if he's actually for it or not, but he did say, it's been a long ride for some of these kids, and I think it's good to see kind of what we got in December and not carry it out another 2 months. So
I think there's definitely some good to it for a lot of the kids that have been doing this for 3 years. You talk about a kid getting an offer in ninth grade, 3.5 years. So I think it's good for a lot of the kids to feel like they get it done, but it's like it is just 2 months early. It's not a year early. It's not anything that crazy.
Right.
So it's like whatever. But yeah, I think it is good for a lot of the kids just to feel like they get to do it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and those early enrollees get to be on campus in January. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, like how far would you push it back to January?
I think you would just I think they want to go back to just a regular signing period.
Okay, so they wouldn't get on campus until like that next week, I guess.
No, the early enrollees just come in January. They just do it how they normally do it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's never
you have to be an early enrollee to sign.
Right.
Okay.
Just going back to the normal way. What's this, 4 years old now?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it makes a coaching change in the middle of the season maybe easier. Like if you wait until now.
Yeah. Oh, you have to do it.
You shoot yourself in the foot.
Right now,
you got to do it as soon as the season's over, get somebody in place. But I mean, you're so far behind at that point. But hey, we went through it, so I don't care what anybody else has to do. We're stable right now as it stands today. So, oh well, sorry for
that is some true Vol battered syndrome right there. Battered Vol syndrome. If you be like, right now we're stable. Right now.
It feels good. We got a quarterback. We got stability at head coach and quarterback. When's the last time that's happened?
2016, Landon.
Were we stable?
I think most people were on board with Butch Jones being the guy.
Okay. What about
going
after
into 2016?
That? Okay, going into it. After.
Yeah, not after. No, after that's when Dobbs was gone and he lost to Vanderbilt to lose the Sugar Bowl. Going to the Sugar Bowl. No, I think everybody was going into 16. So if we were in December of 15, so just 6 years ago, I think most people would say stable. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like what we got right now with the recruiting class, getting some momentum. Heupel seems like he's hungry. He wants that hypetizer. How about that?
Like appetizer?
Yeah, he wants some of that. He's hungry. He don't want to wait. He just wants it now. He wants it early.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll let that sit for a minute and we'll circle back.
Yeah, we don't have to use it. We can just throw it out. We can never talk about it again.
I think I like that. I'll sit on it if you want. But let's move on to some basketball. We did talk about that briefly. I know you all discussed it on Thursday. That loss to Texas Tech, which was ugly. So nice to kind of officially flush that one out of your system with. I know it's UNC Greensboro, but a win is a win, and in very dominant fashion.
Yeah, it felt good to just get out of that shooting slump, whatever that was. Madison Square Garden was a fluke. Well, none of those 4 teams shot over 36%.
That's what I was like. What was going on with those rims for every team to shoot poorly?
Yeah, they got those campground rims.
Yeah, because even they got the double rim. Even Texas Tech, who beat us, didn't shoot well.
Yeah, I said it today. I was like, no wonder the Knicks are so damn bad.
Right. They got to figure something. They thought it'd be home court advantage for everyone to play bad there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand what was up with that, but like I said, good to kind of flush that one away. And you didn't have just an absolutely dominant day from anybody. It was kind of a team effort to to get to 76 points. And then, I mean, holding UNC Greensboro under 40 is more than ideal. So, I mean, it just felt like Tennessee kind of got back into the swing of things, shot 45% from the field, 37 from three. So, pretty good day overall. And you had a lot of your starters still lacking in some areas. Get some more points on the board this week. This Saturday. So that was definitely nice to get into the swing of things. We talked about how tough this schedule was in December. Next Saturday you'll have Memphis, then Arizona, and then you start SEC play. So it's like that loss is never good, but I mean, at least you saw a lot. Hopefully you don't see a loss like that later in the year. That's a kind of early in the year loss there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just good to get, kind of just, I don't know, take a bath of whatever that was on Tuesday. 6 of 40. I mean, if this team goes 6 of 40 again, then we just stop shooting threes altogether. We just collectively
which isn't ideal.
Never shoot another three. But 13 of 35, I mean, I think in the first 10 minutes we had 6 threes already. So we already got to where we were on Tuesday for the entire game that even went into overtime. So yeah, just much better shooting night. But yeah, defensively this team's elite. I mean, it's going to be tough for any team to score 70 points on this Tennessee defense.
Yeah, which means Tennessee just needs to score some to win those ball games. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a consistent point you've seen with this team. Like you said, elite defensively, and even when they played bad, still played pretty good defense. And then nights they're shooting good. They're still, I know it's UNC Greensboro again, but they're still playing good defense on those nights. And still rebounding okay. And even though you don't carry the size advantage or have guys like Yves Pons who can go up and get them easily, but still doing pretty good in the rebounding department too.
Yeah, I think you're kind of getting help from everybody, and I think this team has no problem with effort, in my opinion. So I think boxing out and things like that is something this team's going to continue to do. But one thing they do need to get, and that's some post presence on offense. Yeah. It's very difficult for our post to score. Olivier had 7 points, but 3 of those were off of 3-pointers. So Fulkerson only had 2 points. Urosh had 2 points. So not a lot in your post, but you did see more Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. And offensive-wise, he looks like somebody that can go get his own shot.
Yeah, I think you're going to see more and more time from him as it goes around. I mean, you get more yesterday, so you get a game in where you feel comfortable letting him get more playing time. So it just seems like he's going to work his way into this lineup more so than he has. I mean, the fact that he's playing this early is already different from anything Barnes has done since he's been on campus. So I think you do probably see more of him, especially I think you see guys like Urosh kind of drop out of that lineup, which make more room for him. And then you just got to think John Fulkerson's going to find it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope. And you hope that Olivier is able to show what everybody's kind of been talking about all season or all off season of him, taking that next step. Haven't really seen it up to this point, but I mean, I guess he is shooting better from 3 because I don't think he really attempted much in the past couple of years he's been on campus. But, yeah, would love to see more Brandon Huntley-Hatfield, especially, I like Urosh, but, hey, we're here to win, baby. I mean, it's just time to, the training wheels are off, man. It's time to get, put your best players on the court. Maybe he's just trying to get him back for next year. He's trying not to get too much production from Brandon Huntley-Hatfield so he comes back. But, dude, we're the present, baby. Let's go win.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we see more from him, and I hope we do because he kind of seems to be that – he seems to be the clear third guy, in my opinion, in that rotation of Comois, Fulkerson, and then I think it's Brantley Huntley-Hatfield.
And, I mean, watch out. Because, I mean, if he played the way that he played – I mean, it was an inferior opponent against – UNC Greensboro, but they are, a pretty decent team in the SoCon.
Right.
And for him to just 6 of 10, 12 points, 2 rebounds, I mean, he was more productive than Olivier and Fulkerson and kind of combined.
Right. Right. May see more of him on Tuesday night. Tennessee takes on South Carolina upstate, and then Memphis on Saturday in Nashville. That'll be a fun one.
God, I hope we wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, I mean, I got to think they're going to play better in that game, but Penny seems to think it's effort though, so it's hard to get your effort just magically up in time for an opponent. So
yeah, and it seems like a team that's easily frustrated. So when they go against a defense like that, who's just super stingy,
right?
You know, how much does that affect them? Do they just kind of throw in the towel early, or I don't think so. I think they're going to get up for that game, but you know, that is something to watch. Is Tennessee's smothering defense, does that just take Memphis out of the game early and it's just a blowout? I would love nothing more.
No, absolutely.
What about Josiah Jordan-James finally lighting it up from three?
It'd be nice. I mean, he's the one that got you back into it with against Tech. He made us suffer the overtime, but yeah, I mean, it's nice. I mean, if you get more, we talked about how he's going to produce in the other columns. If he can produce in the scoring column too, I mean, it gets that much better with him. So.
Yeah, I just want to see, like, I know threes are a thing, but I'd like to see more of driving in. You know, we went to the free throw line 7 times. We shot seven free throws.
I think you have too many aggressive guards for shooting poorly to kind of be like shooting poorly from 3 to be like the thing that puts you like under the ground, it did against Tech. And I think too that also shows how much more help you need down low. Those guys have got to be able to help clear the lane. They've also got to be able to rebound some. I felt like we had no offensive rebounds against Tech. And when you have very few second chance points, I mean, it's hard to win ball games.
Yeah,
a lot of times that's the defining factor in close ball games is how many second chance points did you get? And I know last Tuesday Tennessee didn't get a lot, and when you play good teams, you're going to need more.
Yeah, and they had 14 against UNC Greensboro, which again, inferior opponent. But they did do a better job of crashing the boards offensively. It wasn't just one shot and done like it was against Texas Tech. But Josiah Jordan-James, he's too like broad and athletic to just sit at the 3-point line.
Yeah.
I mean, use that body and go to the rim. I mean, you're going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that from him. And then I think Victor Bailey, I feel like that's a way he can get more minutes is to be aggressive. And I know he's a 3-point shooter, but with his speed and athleticism, if you can use that to get to the rim, I mean, Kenny Chandler shot 4 free throws out of our 7.
Yeah.
And Quentin Debunji shot 2 of those, and he only played 5 minutes. So, before he went in, we had 5 free throws and Kennedy had 4 of them. So, need to be a bit more aggressive. I guess shooting a 3 is aggressive, but I want to see us go to the rim. I want to see us go at somebody.
I think aggressive is the right word, especially when your shot's not falling.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like
get your shots at the hole, because I mean, if you're not shooting well from 3, those 3s are going to become easier to shoot because teams aren't going to they don't need to pressure you the way they have been.
Right.
So. Let's talk. I mean, anything else for basketball other than Tuesday game and then Saturday? And you're in the home stretch of the out of conference schedule. Well, you have one more in I guess it's in February, but other than that,
yeah. I mean, what do you got? USC Upstate. You got Memphis, Arizona, Alabama.
Yep.
So as soon as you get into Alabama, did they win that game today? I know I saw your text talking about it, but
that was Saturday, and yes, they beat Houston at the buzzer. Not really at the buzzer. Houston had a putback that was definitely close. Is goaltending reviewable?
It is in the NBA. I don't know if it is in college.
Okay. So I don't know if it got reviewed or not, but it came right off the rim. An Alabama player swatted it away. A lot of people thought it was over the cylinder. I definitely could see how in real time, it was very close. But like on review, so if it's reviewable, I 100% understand how they called it no goaltending. But they called it no goaltending on the court. So I don't know if they can then go back and review it.
So Alabama benefited from a call.
Yeah, I know. You're shocked, aren't you?
Shocker, dude. Oh, my God.
And then some Houston coach started throwing and kicking chairs, and it looked like
Easy, Bobby Knight.
well, not on the court. He did it like on the way to the locker room.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't know if it's a head coach. What scene is it? Oh, it's in Hangover when Alan's like, gosh darn it, dang it, shoot. He's not cussing. It kind of looked like that. Like he was like, it looked like a toddler throwing a tantrum that wanted to cuss, but he maybe didn't know his cuss words.
Okay, gosh dog it.
Yeah. Gosh dog it, dang it. I mean, I gotta think I can find it real quick, but it was
insubordinate and churlish.
Right.
But yeah, I'm shocked 0% that what did Alabama do to deserve like all this?
I don't know, man. They've made some deal with the devil that they get to be good at every sport. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay, Houston also let in one of the worst putback dunks for like late time games that I've ever seen. It was easy.
And they missed
They
it.
They deserved to lose it. No. Alabama made it. They just didn't touch the guy.
Oh, okay.
On a floater in the middle of the lane with 30 seconds left, up 1. Didn't touch the guy.
Dude, I was telling Joe.
In real time, it definitely looks like no goaltending. But I don't know. I'm trying to see if they reviewed it or not. Because I don't even know if it's reviewable. Nobody knows what's reviewable.
I was telling Joe before the show of all the bad beats I got today. So I did a big parlay or teaser. And literally the last leg I needed was the Lions to cover 24.5. And guess what? They threw a pick in their on the 16 of Denver. Denver drives the length of the field, burns all the clock, went for it on 4th down and got it, and kept driving it. And then on 3rd and goal from the 4, they throw it and score a touchdown to go up 28 points with a minute and 50 seconds left.
Yeah, that's Lions are pretty bad. Hey, they got their 1 win last week. You can't roll on them to cover 24.
24.5 against Denver?
They got their win last week. You can't happen.
I didn't need them to win. I didn't want them to win.
But that was your win, so you couldn't expect that from the Lions. That's your fault.
My God.
That's a bad bet.
Ugh. It makes me sick. And then I had Florida and Maryland under 136.5, and they scored 138. So, yeah. I needed that in a parlay. So, yeah, just a great. Hey, when in doubt, bet on Alabama because I bet on Bryce Young to win the Heisman and won $80 yesterday. So,
you'll be fine.
Which let's talk about that. Are we good with basketball?
Yeah,
do you have anything
I just don't understand the voting exactly. Like, I can't believe Bryce Young got. I guess his SEC game, the freshness is nice, so that's what won it for him. I'm just shocked Kenny Pickett came in 3rd, and like the gap was that big between everybody. But then like Bryce Young and Kenny, like that's kind of surprising. Yeah,
I mean, if you watch Bryce Young against Georgia, he's the best quarterback in the country.
Right.
I'm not trying to take anything away from Kenny Pickett. I was more shocked that Aiden Hutchinson was 2nd.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I mean too. Is like I thought the voting would have been closer for Kenny Pickett, and then I'm shocked that the gap was that big, let alone Kenny Pickett being 3rd.
Yeah, the Hutchinson thing didn't because Will Anderson has better stats than him. So if you're gonna wouldn't you put the better defensive player?
Nice to play on that playoff team.
I mean, Will
Anderson is, but like it's Alabama and it's Alabama's defense. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I know he's been good, but I mean, Will Anderson he's the best defensive player in the country.
How awkward was that voting stage with RG3 and Tim Tebow and Desmond Howard? Did you see that video?
I did see where Desmond was interviewing Aiden
Yeah.
Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to come back and beat Ohio State. And yeah, then Desmond like chimed in. Like, I get the rivalry is what it is, but to just kind of crap on a kid right there at the Heisman ceremony just felt very, I don't know, just kind
I
of,
felt like
it made me cringe.
Yeah. No, it was a very awkward interview. And I mean, the whole thing was just incredibly awkward. So, very weird. Very weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like Bryce Young, yeah, he's probably the most talented quarterback in the country, but I just don't think anybody just went and won it.
No, I think Bryce Young being so good in I think there was more questions before the SEC game. So him being so good in that, a lot easier to be like, yeah, he's
the Auburn game was just a head scratcher, and it wasn't like he was bad or anything in that. It was just, I don't know, just an ugly game for an Auburn team that's not very good.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I agree.
But yeah, just a weird Heisman Trophy ceremony. And then, this is one of my fails, but I'll go ahead and get into it. Him saying that he's always been doubted. I'm just like, you were the number one quarterback in the country, a 5-star out of California. You went to Mater Dei, which is one of the best high school programs in the country. And you go to Alabama? Like, when were you doubted?
Oh, yeah. I think that's just classic. Everybody says that.
Oh, yeah, the underdog card.
Yeah. You got to have the underdog story.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. Yeah, maybe blow that smoke up somebody else's butt. But
he is the first quarterback to win it at Bama, right?
No, Mac Jones won it.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. No, wait. Maybe he didn't. No, Devontae Smith won it, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was Devontae Smith. He is the first.
He's the first Alabama quarterback.
Because Joe Burrow won it.
Yeah. They've had running backs, and
I forgot Devontae Smith won it.
Like there's been 4 positions win it for Alabama.
I mean, they just started throwing the ball like 4 years ago, so.
Right. No, yeah, they wouldn't have a quarterback win it before Mac Jones.
No. A.J. McCarron, he was close.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to look that up real quick. We can.
Is that why he was doubted? Because he went to Alabama and none of them won a Heisman Trophy?
That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I didn't take the easy road and go to Oklahoma.
Yeah, that might have been what he meant.
Oh, good for him.
I'm trying to look it up because I swear I read that there were now 4 positions at Alabama, but I'm like, what would be the 4th? Because they haven't had a defensive player win it.
The 4th Heisman?
The 4th, maybe it was just 4th overall Heisman, but I feel like they have more.
So Mark Ingram won it. Did Derrick Henry win it?
I thought they said 4th position. Derrick Henry did win it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, 4th position. Oh.
Yeah. So but I don't know what the other position would be. That's what's throwing me off. Am I bad at counting? Wide receiver, running back, quarterback. They had like a punter win it in the back in the day.
There you go. Yeah.
He's a quarterback, but he also punted, so they called him a punter. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe I read that incorrectly. I hate how good Alabama is.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Joe before you hopped on. I was like, dude, when in doubt, bet on Alabama. Yeah. At least win some money off their success.
Easy way out. Yeah. Do we have any questions?
I think we had one on Twitter. I think Patrick Eady might have. He said, so we talked about the JUCOs and everything. Fourth player. Okay.
Fourth player.
He said, could Cade and Cedric also return for next year? Yeah, both those guys do have the option to. I would pretty much peg that Cedric Tillman will come back. Cade, I don't know. I would assume that he's probably leaning more toward the NFL, but I don't think it's a for sure thing just because, his brother's here. He's from Knoxville. I think it does mean something to play for him, and it probably doesn't hurt that Hendon Hooker and some of those guys are coming back. But
Right.
And I mean, I know Rivals Mike said that, or not Rivals Mike, it was Darren Ravel, one and the same. Said offensive linemen aren't marketable, but Cade Mays, he's probably the highest paid player on that team right now.
Did Mike say that too? Because Darren Ravel, I saw tweeted that as well.
Yeah, so it was Darren. It wasn't Mike. I just
Okay.
said one and the same because
What?
Mike has me blocked because every time Trey Smith used to do something, I used to tag him in it.
Well, he's had to be sick then from all these videos in the NFL of Trey Smith dominating players.
Oh yeah, I think that's why he had to do it. I was just blowing up his stuff every
Like-
Sunday.
You're like, this dude will not stop with the year Trey's having.
He's like, and he might get selected to the Pro Bowl. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, God bless. These are never going to stop.
Yeah. Hey, don't
Love
make
to see
stupid takes.
Right. Oh, no. You deserve it. He deserves
Yeah.
it. Do we have any other questions, though, before we get to most important of the week?
I think that's all we got. Let me just check and just to make sure, but yeah, I think that's it.
Perfect. Let's get into some most important of the week then.
Yeah, boy.
I have so many screenshots of Christmas gifts I have to buy, so this is going to take a while.
Army Navy game, America's game. The under hit again.
Oh, it did end up hitting? Okay, I didn't watch the end of the game, but I saw people
It
texting
wasn't.
about
It didn't look like it because they scored. It was like 10-7 in the first quarter, like quick, and I think it ended at like 30. Was the final? I mean, it was 17-13.
There we go. Big time. So 16, did you say it 16 years in a row?
Yep, 16 years in a row.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I'm looking. You have any more?
I thought Army would kill him. I guess I looked more at the
I-
record and not at like the
Yeah.
actual teams, but yeah, I thought Army would be able to throw it a lot more, and they didn't. Hey,
My first one's going to be Dallas bringing their own benches to the Redskins game, Washington football team game.
yeah, easy, Caleb.
I love that. Sorry. I love that. Also, I think they brought them because they're heated. Is my imagine. Like that's what I imagine.
Yeah,
And it's like you bring everything else. Why do you not? Why do you not bring?
yeah.
those?
I saw where they were the first team ever to do that. Is that true?
Surely not.
That's
Maybe
what
like Green Bay like
they-
has heated benches. Though.
maybe it's the first time that they've done it at the
Yeah, maybe.
Washington football team.
Maybe. That
I
makes
thought
sense.
I read that, but I was like, why?
Let's see. Oh, I've got. Go ahead.
I got Venables and going to Oklahoma, and then who's Oregon's coach?
Cristobal to Miami.
Who's Oregon's coach now?
Oh, did they end up hiring someone?
Dan
I don't-
Lanning. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did hire him. From
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah. What about
right.
like offensive teams like Oregon and Oklahoma going with a defensive guy?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
See how it works out.
Yeah. See how they like that come this time next year.
hmm
See if they went that route. If they like that.
Well, I
went that
mean,
route.
I guess Oklahoma's going to be different because Jeff Levy's going to Oklahoma too, so maybe it won't.
It's still
don't
different.
really-
Like philosophies, probably.
Yeah. I mean, if I will give them advice. If you are a defensive coach, make sure he is nowhere near playing, calling offensive plays.
Fair. My next one is, you may have seen the videos of Connor Williams of St. John's Fisher College. 7 foot, 360 pound. That's a tank. Dude can play. I saw his high school highlights. We got a hooper on our hands.
He was freaking throwing dimes too in that game.
Oh yeah. Go watch his highlight tape. He throws a couple dimes. He can stroke the three. I think
Can he dunk?
Not gonna answer that.
I just want to know.
It saddens me, so I'm not gonna answer it.
He can?
No, he can't.
He can't?
I haven't seen evidence that he can dunk. So Connor Williams, if you can prove me wrong, please do. In a game, in the highlights that I've seen, I've not seen evidence that he can dunk.
So you're not saying he can't. You're just saying you haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
I want to see that.
I'd love to see that.
Joe, you got any most importance? Bring you in here if you want to. I guess you don't have to.
Oh, I would want to. Also, new background. That's like number 15, probably, right?
Heck yeah. I was changing it up.
I changed it. It's literally every week. It's incredible. Next week will be different too. So,
that is pretty credible.
One thing that I saw that, I don't mean, it's not really the most important, but it was just cool. But if you bet, so if you put $100 back the first time that the under hit in the Army-Navy game, and you took your winnings and like bet it again the next year, after yesterday, you would have like $3.6 million, something like that, which is like, obviously no one would ever do it and just keep betting it, but like, it's ridiculous. Like a 16-year streak.
I bet there's.
I know Landon might get in on the action now and see if it'll keep compounding.
Oh, I'll bet it next year and it won't hit.
Yeah.
Did you bet it this year?
I did bet it this year, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I almost bet the over.
Start it now.
I almost did.
That's the problem. I would have been like, oh, the one time, but no.
Here's my $1 million bet on this.
I did throw I went over and watched some UFC fights. I don't watch UFC a whole lot. They're like, yeah, let's do a parlay. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we put it together. We were watching these fights, and like the first 3 people won, and it was like a 6-thing parlay. And so it got up to where I won like $8. I'm like, dude, I kind of want to cash out. And I looked at the next guys coming in. I was like, oh, dude, this dude's losing. Like this dude had a bowl cut. I was like, oh, he's about to get knocked out. And this dude came in. He was going down a weight class, and he had tattoos all over him. I was like, he's going to win. So I cashed out. The next 2 people won. I was like, oh, my gosh, they're about to win over $100. And then literally the no-brainer, the Amanda Nunez.
Nunez or whatever. Yeah.
She was minus 1,000 to win, and she lost.
Yeah. Was it so that was your last card was Nunez?
No, it was they picked Poirier too, and that they would have lost that one too. But I was sweating, and I was like, "Dang it!"
Yeah, but I don't know. After that Duke Ohio State game, I used to just be anti cash out, but now it's just take it,
ride the cash out, ride it.
It's just because then even if you lose, you don't just have to worry about the loss, but you then have the guilt of wow, I could have. Yeah, it's just.
What is that? Is that a leather couch?
It is a leather couch. Okay, so it's
a black leather couch. Joe, where are you at?
It's on the casting couch.
I'm literally in an empty. So there's 5-day period from switching out from the dorm to going home up to Philly. So I'm staying at my mom's right now, and she's the property manager of this place that she lives down on Market Square. But this is just an empty apartment right now, so there's just a leather couch, and I'm just it's quiet and empty. So it's just.
I used to record off a casting couch too. It was like a love seat in this room right here.
Yeah.
Traded in for a chair, but yeah, I
We're
did have-
scanning over too much though that it's like, is the entire room empty except for the
No,
leather
it's
couch?
it's
It's furnished. Okay,
It's just all over the place. They haven't really I don't know what they're doing in here.
okay, that's good. I was like, I feel like we're leaving out the creepiness of just one room being a leather couch, and
Nothing
we're good.
else.
We're good. We're good.
White walls, casting couch.
We're good. All right. If there's a tripod in the corner, you need to go take a shower and maybe get a test. But
Yeah.
all right, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
Is
no
that
black
most
lights.
important?
Don't turn on the black light.
Yeah, I've got the blanket I'm sitting on right now, so just keep me safe.
Any more most importants? Are we good for fails?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, I've got Zach Smith coming. He tweets a little too much for if I was in his shoes.
Yeah.
This time he talks about the college football, the Heisman Trophy that we discussed with Desmond Howard. I'm just going to read his tweet. He said, Desmond Howard is the worst kind of bitch. 1, he doesn't study football. 2, I love that that's how he starts it off. He's like, he's a bitch. He doesn't study football. 2, or worse, he's too dumb to comprehend it. 3, so go back into it. He isn't sure he doesn't study football. He just knows he's dumb. And whatever. 3, he has as much class as a Saturday in July. All of your football students are probably taking classes in July. I'll scan over that one, though. 4, he once said on College Game Day he was going to choke a bitch. Sports media is fascinating, and then tag Desmond Howard in it.
Did he really say that?
He really said that. And then Desmond Howard tweeted back and said, I guess those anger management classes aren't working. I think he said those court-mandated anger management classes.
Oh, my God.
I just love how he wanted us to be upset that he said choke a bitch on national TV. And he's calling him a bitch in the tweet. I'm like, so should we be bad or what? And I don't know the context of choke a bitch, but I got to imagine he was being – I can't imagine he was like, I'm going to kill this person. I got to think it was jokingly.
Yeah, I'm sure Zach Smith never said that.
Yeah, or done it.
Yeah.
Which is worse. I know.
Maybe he's never done it on game day, but that doesn't mean that you're in the clear. I want to see this video on game day. There's always that video of Lee Corso saying F it and he throws the head.
Which is, by the way, I'd like to add is a fantastic clip.
Yeah,
and I hope we get more absurdities out of him as he gets older.
You'll probably get that wish.
Based on this year, I think so.
I have UMass football.
Oh.
They have solve your problems with aggression. # flagship, and they have a red flag next to it. Now that's a place that Zach Smith would love to go to. Solve your problems with aggression. I'm just what?
Yeah, that's
you have that painted. You paid somebody to put that on your wall.
It's an interesting one for sure.
And then put a red flag next to it. Ugh.
Joe, were you able to watch that video?
Yeah, I just heard it. It's all over the place. I mean, he said it. I thought he said Djokovic or something, but no, he just.
I don't understand the
context. Right.
All right, let me see if we can.
No Michigan's big enough splash to beat Ohio State this year. I know you've never been asked that question. Oh, Reese Davis, is Desmond Howard going to have the Djokovic? Michigan's big enough splash to beat Ohio State this year. I know you've never been asked that question. Oh, Reese Davis, is Desmond Howard going to have the Djokovic?
I think he's talking to Reese Davis, right? Is that what he means?
Yeah, he's going to choke Reese Davis?
I guess. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
That's
God.
I'm surprised I never noticed that. I just
Lee Corso definitely leaned over to Kirk and was like, "What did he say?"
Lee Corso got a lot of crap for his. I can't believe. Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. I can't believe I haven't heard more of that.
And then both y'all just looked at him like, "What?"
Yeah.
I love
That's incredible. That. Oh, I do too. That's
actually
awesome.
Hilarious.
Not Reese. Corso turned to Herbstreit and was like, "Are we allowed to say that?" That would have come out a lot more. Why are you guys just bringing this to me now?
Yeah, he's like, how come I'm not allowed to say this stuff?
I'm gonna go with our buddy Urban Meyer. He just loves he can't stay out of hot water. I don't know. I know we're technically officially an anti-Urban Meyer podcast, but he only makes it easier for us. I mean, like, he's a scumbag. Like, I don't know. I'm sure you guys saw it, right? Like that he was, trashing his assistant coaches and said that basically prove yourself and that he's the winner and they're all losers. But
yeah, I was very confused by that.
Yeah, but if somebody calls him out, he just has heart problems. So,
oh God, I can't stand him.
I did see today where somebody was like, "Yeah, I know your offensive line is making a lot of money. They're just not making plays. They're making too much money to not make plays or something like that." And all Urban Meyer said was, "Yeah." That's it.
Didn't even deny it. That franchise is also on a downward spiral.
Jesus.
Which I love that Urban Meyer's at the helm of that downward spiral. That makes it so much better. Do we any other fails floating around out there, Landon? We missed.
I know Mike Leach he made a statement about he kind of just flipped on players that forego the bowl game to focus on their NFL careers and stuff, and basically everyone clapped back on Twitter to when he was Oklahoma's coordinator and left before the bowl game to go to coach Texas Tech. So everyone was basically like, "What are you talking about?" So he basically got owned on Twitter. It's just never a safe place to try to make a statement, but it's Mike Leach. I don't think he cares.
No, he does not.
He's happy with the attention.
He's having that Halloween candy.
Did he say he likes candy corn or hates candy corn?
Hates candy corn. Wait.
I think he hates it. I think he hates it.
I think he hates it.
He likes licorice. That man is so weird.
He just looks. I don't know. He's terrifying.
I wonder if he still walks to work. Have you seen the video of him at Washington State? They followed him around for a day. He walked to and from work, and it wasn't like a trail. It looked like he was walking through people's backyards. It was very strange. It was very strange.
I want a Mike Leach Netflix special because I would watch that hands down.
Oh yeah, I agree, 100%.
The Pirate King. Maybe legendary.
We'll work on titles.
Yeah. Well, guys, that was
That's all I got. We'll be back Thursday, hopefully after a Vol win, leading up to Memphis.
Yeah, we'll have early signing day to talk about. So that should be an easy day to fill some content. Also, prayers with families that were impacted by the storms. Was not I saw some pictures today and I was like, holy crap, that is sad. So
yep.
Prayers with that. I'm sorry to kind of end on a heartfelt note, but that's all we got, guys. Thanks for listening. We're bringing the boat in and we out.